I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about what do you do if you're avoidant. You know, many of you guys are coming to the channel for the first time and discovering about attachment styles, and you're finding out about avoidant attachment style, and you're starting to see, wait a minute, this was me. Mm-hmm. This is how I've been in my relationships.
Right.
I wasn't making my partner feel cared about. They were constantly frustrated that I didn't make them feel loved, and I didn't realize it. I thought they knew how much I cared about them.
Right.
So we've got some strategies here to help deal with that, right?
Yes. All right, so I'm just going to give you a very brief introduction and then 8 tips of what to do.
8 tips on what to do if you're an avoidant.
If you're an avoidant. On occasion, when avoidants reach a low point in their life because of severe loneliness, a life-altering experience, a major accident, a major illness, they can change their way of thinking because it makes them feel vulnerable.
I think a breakup will do that.
Of
too.
course it will.
Yeah. That wasn't on the list. I don't know how they missed that one.
I don't know either. Well, sometimes not. Sometimes it's easy to blame the partner and just go on to the next one. And if you're avoidant, short-term relationships are easier than longer-term ones,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
But when you're ready to look at it, this is what you do. You need to learn when you're pulling away, okay? You need to learn when you're acting in an avoidant fashion. I talked to a gentleman the other day who now realizes that he moved to a different city to get away from his relationship that kept getting closer,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So you have to realize when you're doing those things, when you're putting people away. When you're excited about someone but then suddenly have a gut feeling that he or she is not right for you, stop and think. This is actually a maneuver to squelch closeness. Okay? So things are going okay, and then all of a sudden you have this bad feeling that this might not be going to work for you. Don't act impulsively. At least consider that you're pushing this person away.
Okay.
Okay? Don't act impulsively is always good advice.
Mm-hmm.
All right? De-emphasize self-reliance and focus on mutual support. Now, how many, particularly little boys in this world, do you think are told from the crib, you're going to be independent and strong and self-reliant and it's good not to need anybody? Mm. Okay? I think some women are taught that, but nowhere near on the same scale.
Yeah.
Right? When your partner feels he or she has a secure base to fall back on and doesn't feel they need to work so hard to get close, and when you don't feel the need to distance yourself, you'll both be better able to look outward and to do your own thing. You'll become more independent and your partner will become less needy. Okay? So get off the self-reliance thing. And women are told to take care of everybody. Men are told to be self-reliant. Okay? But you don't have to be. It's not necessarily a goal. We're not wired that way. We're wired to have a secure base.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? Find a secure partner if you can. Now that's much more easily said than done. You're going to go out on your first date and say, just how secure are you, mm-hmm. Craig?
You got a little meter, like like a Ghostbuster meter,
right,
where you're trying to measure the secure. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
That's what I need to develop, an app that does that.
An app that does that,
That reads how secure you are, and then, oh, look, this guy's really secure.
Right.
Although most of you guys would be chasing after the avoidance. Oh, this guy's off the chart. I got to chase after him.
He's mysterious, and I need to know about him. Yes. All right. Be aware that you have a tendency to misinterpret other people's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Negative views of your partner's behaviors and intentions infuse bad vibes into the relationship. Look at what happened with Mr. Gray and his wife Bonnie. He immediately thought she was angry at him when she was just upset. Okay? So avoidant folks are quick to take offense. Change this pattern! Exclamation point. Recognize this tendency. Notice when it happens. And look for a more plausible perspective. Remind yourself that this is your partner. You choose to be together, and that maybe you're better off trusting that they do have your best interests at heart. Okay? And if you're an avoidant, there are many things that you interpret as efforts to control you. Okay? And I know it's always okay to say things out loud. When you talk to me like that, it makes me feel like you kind of want to control my life. And you know that makes me nervous. So state it. Say it out loud. Okay? If you can think it, you can say it. All right? Make a relationship gratitude list. As we all know, gratitude lists are in. We're all supposed to have an attitude of gratitude. I don't know, but I'll read it. Remind yourself on a daily basis that you tend to think negatively of your partner or date. It is simply part of your makeup if you have an avoidant attachment style. Your objective should be to notice the positive in your partner's actions. And that will come hard if you're avoidant.
Yeah.
You know? This may not be an easy task, but with practice and perseverance, you'll gradually get the hang of it. Take time every evening to think back on the events of the day. List at least one way your partner contributed, even in a minor way, to your well-being, and why you're grateful they're in your life. Okay? This does not sound like a sappy gratitude list.
No.
There are some out there. Okay?
But it's important to keep that in perspective and think about the positive things that they did do for you that day. I mean, think about it. If they did 20 things for you during the day and you're only focused on the one negative thing that got on your nerves, you ignored the 19 things they did that were helpful. They made your lunch. They cleaned up after you. They did all these things.
Picked up your socks.
They called the doctor and set the appointment for you. And you're focused on the one thing that bothered you.
That they did wrong, Yep, exactly.
So.
And if you're avoidant, you're kind of wired to do that. Nix the Phantom X. All right? When you find yourself idealizing that one special ex-partner, stop and acknowledge that he or she is not and never was a viable option. By remembering how critical you were of that relationship and how leery you were of committing, you can stop using him or her as a distancing strategy and focus on someone new. So if you have an ex that nobody can live up to, nix the ex. All right?
Yep. You're not with that person for a reason.
Right.
So think about that. That other relationship didn't work, and they obviously weren't perfect at the time. So if you keep comparing your new partner that you're with to this other person that obviously you're not with any longer, that's going to make them crazy.
Yes, it is. And that's the idea. That maybe that will push them away.
Yeah. But you don't want to do it.
No.
Not if you really want to get healthy.
Right. Forget about the one. We don't dispute the presence of soulmates in our world. On the contrary, we wholeheartedly believe in the soulmate experience.
I don't think I believe in that, though.
All right, but
that's me disagreeing with the book.
But it is our belief that you have to be an active party in the process. Don't wait until the one who fits your checklist shows up, and then expect everything to fall into place. Make them into your soulmate by choosing them out of the crowd.
That I like.
I like that too. Allowing them to get close, using strategies that we offer you, and making them a special part of you. So, and always we're reminded there may be a soulmate. I'm not into it either. There are probably a few people on this earth who could be a good partner for you. It's not just the one.
It's not that I would say that soulmates don't exist or it's not possible. My concern is that a lot of times people will throw the word out there, soulmate, twin flame, whatever, but it's an abusive person, and it's a way to manipulate you.
That's right.
So you'll have a lot of narcissistic people saying things like, "You're my soulmate, and I love you so much you can't leave me no matter what."
Because
But meanwhile, they're sleeping with 25 other people.
Right.
But they've got you hooked because they're saying, "But you're my soulmate." So that's my issue with it.
Right on. Yes, it can be a wonderful manipulation for a narcissistic person.
And the other thing that concerns me is that when we believe somebody is our soulmate, it can keep us staying in a bad situation.
In a relationship we should not stay in.
Yeah, and so I don't like it for those factors. I'm not saying that maybe there isn't somebody that is absolutely meant to be with us, but I don't like the idea of sometimes limiting ourselves and saying, "Well, this person's my soulmate, I know I have to be with him." Yeah, but he hit you last week 6 times.
And I've heard that numerous times. I can't leave him. Yes, you can. And soulmate or not, look at his behavior.
Yeah.
Okay? That's when you have to get really practical. "Oh, but I love him. He's my soulmate." Yes, but he's abusing you. Let me help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's my concern about it,
Right.
is that I'm not saying that it's not possible. What do I know? It could be absolutely possible.
Yeah.
I just don't like, because toxic, abusive people can do it, and some people that are hurting and tolerating abuse or poor behavior are staying because they tell themselves this story about how this is my soulmate.
Right. I agree. Okay? But anyway, there are some tips of what to do if you are avoidant. And you know, there's never anything wrong with putting things out on the table. And certainly a reasonable question to ask anybody you're dating is, how much closeness works for you? And how much alone time or distance do you need?
Yep.
There's no reason that can't be negotiated. Okay? So if you're feeling uncomfortable that it's too close, say that. Okay? Sometimes people can, sometimes they can't. And if you're anxious and it's upsetting to you, let your partner know what they can do to make you feel more secure. And never ever forget that the idea is to be each other's secure base. If you've had a bad day, somebody in your family is ill, you had a fight with the boss, all those things that upset us, the right person is going to be there for you when you feel like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like we've said before, a relationship is supposed to double the joy
and divide the grief.
There you go.
Aristotle, one of my old Greek friends.
You guys used to hang out together?
Yeah, we used to, when I was in college.
Have some wine over that?
When I was in college, philosophy was a big thing. You had to take all this philosophy. And I had to read tons and tons of Aristotle. I did, however, get a bargain book that had the cover on backwards. And I would take the train into Boston, where I went to school, reading Aristotle upside down. And people must have thought, "Oh yeah, she thinks she's reading Aristotle, but she doesn't even have it right side up."
Yeah. You probably made for some really interesting stories that night.
Yes.
I'm not going to believe what I saw
You're
on the
not
train
going to believe what
today.
I saw on the train today. Yeah, she looked all right, but boy, reading Aristotle upside down. Mm-hmm.
All right, so interesting article. Give Margaret a thumbs up on the video. Let her know that you appreciate all the hard research that she does. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
Absolutely. If you think I can be helpful, or if you need a book read upside down, contact me.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. Remember to subscribe to the channel. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.